body. She know I'm ballin' for sure. She know when stop me, you know I'm gon' score.
Yo, what's up, guys? Your boy CJ May, and I'm here with a special guest.
I'm David. I'm a sophomore. CJ's one of my close friends, and we about to get in and see what happens.
Let's get it happen.
I noticed your Black Lives Matter. Did you go to any protests?
Yeah, bro. Black Lives Matter, man.
Yes, sir.
Facts, man. Right here.
Did you go to any protests and stuff like that?
During
COVID?
Here's the thing. So I respect the protests and like what they do, like outside.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I saw like some protests in Center City, and I respect it. But for me, I just rather like watch it. I would speak on the issues like on social media, and I would talk to people that were involved in those protests. I would talk to them like directly. But as far as me being like directly in the protest, it's just not my thing. Just because I just feel like, like. Because like with George Floyd, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when George Floyd on May 25th, his life was taken away. Sadly, he was the cop had his knee on his neck for 8 minutes and killed him. Murder. It was murder. Everybody was protesting out in Center City. Everybody was protesting everywhere, and which I appreciated and I respected it, but it was like he's gone, right? Like he's gone. Like these protests and like you. Because then, at the end of the day, right, it's a different perspective. Because obviously you're a white male, I'm a black male, so me being involved in those protests is dangerous.
Yeah,
it's incredibly dangerous, especially when there's cops around. And obviously, as we've seen time and time again, a lot of these cops they really don't give a shit about our race. You know what I mean? Just with cases and everything that's happened, it's shown that. So for me. It's a good cause that people are protesting for those people that died and got killed. But it's like, I don't want to put my life in danger, with those cops, because
you never know.
You never know. You know what I mean?
It's really interesting. Yeah, there were a lot of major big protests where I am in Connecticut and stuff like that. That a lot of my friends went to.
Mm-hmm.
I've always during this time, like watching, George Floyd, Eric Garner. I took because everyone has such opposing views. Blue Lives Matter, or Black Lives Matter, LGBT, and there's so many different groups, and it really comes down to thinking. At least from my perspective and what I take, like taking this time to listen, but to also form an opinion, because I personally do feel that there is a need for cops, but however, there is definitely a problem with the police system that does need to be fixed.
Facts.
And, when I first thought of Black Lives Matter and stuff like that, you saw the hurt and the pain within the African American community, and talking about it with my best friend Isaiah, who at the time was a very big supporter of that. He's now changed after long dialogues and discussions. Me personally, how I feel about the group is I really do have a heart for the African American communities, as they have suffered a lot. And I do like the idea of Black Lives Matter. My biggest problem, though, that with the organization is the fact that they joined the party. The black community, the African American community, whether you're liberal or conservative, it doesn't matter. My biggest concern was the fact that they joined the Liberal Party. I wouldn't want them to join the Conservative or the Liberal. Because I feel like it's not all Black Lives Matter. It's just liberal, and you got a major divide in that as well. If I'm a conservative, whether I'm white or black, I'm automatically against this thing, and how they supported it. And then they started adding all these other things, like these different communities, these different, agendas. I think it's just really important when you look back at Martin Luther King's goals and stuff like that, listening to my friends, to just focus on this is the priority. There is police brutality here, and there's definitely something wrong with it. And if you can't see that, there's definitely an ignorance there to that. But to take, time to be like, all right, well, this is the thing. How can we do this? And, it's just sad to see, how there is looting and rioting. Not all of it is, the fault of them. There are some crazy, people.
Crazy as shit.
I read this one story of this old guy in Milwaukee. And, I don't like to talk on political views, but he was a Trump supporter. And he was there holding a sign, and he said he didn't support Black Lives Matter, and he was killed by a white woman because he didn't support Black Lives Matter.
Oh, that's
because he supported Trump and he wouldn't do it.
That's
and it just shows how crazy, because sometimes even white people like me take this seriously and go crazy with it. And it's just I think the best thing that people can do is, there's so many stories. Like, I know so many things. Like, my friend's grandma, some of them, especially my best friend, she worked the fields. She dealt with that. She's from Alabama, and I've talked to people who previously, like grandparents of friends who were like slave owners. Like, they lived in those lives, and I saw the different perspectives. And I feel like if more people could just listen on, the white community side, and black people could, continue to tell their stories, but also to just try and take a more logical approach, there'd be such a bigger unity, because this nation is so divided.
Yeah,
stuff like that. But what do you think?
It's definitely like a good point, because like it's one thing to be for Black Lives Matter, and be for the rights of African Americans, and just be for humanity just in general. But it's like to kill a person because he said the guy was killed
from Milwaukee.
Yeah, so like to kill that dude just because he didn't support Black Lives Matter, I'm like, damn, like, you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't kill a person over that, you know what I mean? Everybody, listen, I'm for Black Lives Matter, and listen, if I met somebody that wasn't for Black Lives Matter, I'm not gonna crucify him. That's his political view, that's his opinion, but I'm not gonna hurt him or kill him over that. Like, that's insane to me. I mean, everybody has their own opinions, everybody has their own political views, so it's just like, it's the United States. Like, everybody has their own freedom of speech and their own political views. So, I would never kill somebody or hurt somebody over that.
Yeah, and
like,
it's sad to see that people from, the other side will do that if you do support Black Lives Matter. The biggest thing is, the problem with the thing is when you say, like, the words Black Lives Matter, if you go against that, you're racist. The problem...
That's not true.
So you think... in my personal opinion, the reason why so many people have a problem with Black Lives Matter, because I know a lot of people on the conservative side, is because of the fact that they joined a party, all this looting and rioting. And so, the name itself, if you're saying Black Lives don't matter, well, then what are you thinking? You're more on the racial aspect of it, in my opinion.
Right.
You may be against the group, right? And that doesn't make you a racist, right? Because you don't believe in the things that they're doing, the parties that they're joining, and all those things. But it's very hard. So when people are like, oh, no, I don't support Black Lives Matter, it sounds like I don't support, that, and it becomes such a hard question and such a major problem. Like, that's what we're dealing with our country, because you even see the people who are going to the White House right now, all those crazy Trump people, and they're just, taking that over, and it's very divided, and it's just hard to get these perspectives. So that's why it's interesting that we can have these talks. It's two different.
And like, I hate when people when they say that. I think it's ignorance. So like when some people say that if you don't support Black Lives Matter, you're automatically, what I'm saying. Like, what I'm saying is, like, with Black Lives Matter, right? When Black people say it, like when I say it, we're not saying that only our lives matter. I think that's what some people get it confused. Obviously, because a lot of news networks, they cover that, and they say Black Lives Matter, right? Yeah. And we're not saying that only our lives matter. We're saying that our lives should matter, and it's proven time and time again through these cases, through these police brutality, that our lives don't matter. Yeah. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Breonna Taylor, where she was sleeping in her own house, and she got shot by the cop. Yeah. She was sleeping. She was literally sleeping, and the cops broke in her apartment and shot her. Yeah. So, I just think some people get it confused that that we're saying that our lives matter only. It's not true. We're just saying that our lives should matter, because in these cases, it's proven that our lives don't matter. You know what I mean? So
listening to some of my friends, it's really just there's just such a like a heart. You know what I mean? Like, people have been hurting for this time. It's been definitely a struggling time, and it's just people just really need to learn to listen. You know what I mean? Yeah. And definitely,
just have an open
you're
mind.
Not racist if you don't support Black Lives Matter. No, you're not man. This. It's just that's kind of how the organization makes it seem, and they're trying to make it because the media has such a. Have you ever seen The Social Dilemma? Yeah. You have? Yeah. Fire. I'd love to discuss that.
Fire.
Never before has a nation been so divided on so many topics. And, you're either this way or this way. And it's just hard because, looking at how, like, the media portrays it, since you've seen it, people are getting certain things. So, you know, if you support this, that's the way you're going. And it's just like, it's just going to eventually turn into like two sides. And that's terrible because I feel like sometimes having a mix of both sides, of like really pro-conservative, pro-liberal, is one of the most beautiful things ever. Because when you listen to other people, like my area, Connecticut, if you go like 2 towns over, you're in the town of Bridgeport. And Bridgeport is definitely like, it's the hood. Like you have a lot of people there who like definitely live like a life of the struggle. You know, they're making it paycheck to paycheck. Some of them are in gangs and stuff like that. You know, I know some people like that. But you can go 1 town over, right? Or like 1 to 2 towns over, and you're in Westport. And you have people, and pretty much like almost everyone there is millionaires. And you can see it, and you get both those sides, and it's one of the craziest things ever. And I'm so thankful I had that because I've been able to hear it. And you have like all these people who are like, oh, you know, like all this Black Lives Matter, all of it's wrong. And then you have people that are like, if you don't support Black Lives Matter, like I'm gonna beat you up. And it's
so ignorant.
But like listening to both sides, though, I feel like just helps form a point, and that is what America truly needs. You know what I mean?
Like it's all about having an open mind. You know what I mean? Exactly. Not being so fixated on your own ideas. Like have an open mind. You know what I mean? Like have like even like with me, right? Obviously, when the presidential race was going between Biden and Trump, obviously, if I'm being honest, I wasn't rooting for anybody to win that one, like Trump or Biden, because I both don't think they're good candidates. Like, obviously, with Trump, there's a lot of reasons that I don't want to get into, but with Biden, it's like, you know, he's 78. He's 78 years old. Doesn't really have like a whole lot of time as far as, you know, being president at his age. So it's like, you know, like for me personally, my personal choice I wanted to go with was Bernie Sanders. Because I felt like he had like transformative ideas that can like really change the landscape of the United States. So like when he was on the race, I'm like, okay, because it's basically a bunch of freaking old white dudes like competing against each other. I mean, for the presidential race, and neither
still is an old white dude, but
you know what I mean. I get it, but like neither one is like, to me, valid. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know,
how people's thoughts are. I mean, you know, for me, to keep it in the simplicity, and then I got an interesting question for you. What it really comes down to is, do actions speak louder than words? You know, Trump, his policy-wise, he has turned this country around and done some excellent things. I will give it. However, he is very ignorant sometimes. The things that he says, I can understand, like, you know, really hurt some people, and they just can't get over it, you know? However, what he did for the country, policy-wise, actually was overall, like, if you look into it, whether, like, it's your opinion or not, you know, was beneficial. However, Joe Biden did bring a peace to this country in the fact that he presents himself in a much better presidential, you know, like, kind of attitude and manner. And so, you know, that's where I think it really comes down to, actions speak louder than words, or do the words of Joe Biden really move you that, you know, it speaks louder than his actions, because we can see that he hasn't. So that's just my thing. Quick question for you. So after, because we've had all these excellent discussions that are serious, but on a like regular note, where would you want to go if you could go anywhere in the world after COVID?
Bro, so many places I want to go to, man. Like I miss traveling.
Yes, bro.
I miss traveling, man. Just getting out there. But out of all the places in the world, you know what? I would say Hawaii.
Hawaii, did you ever go surfing?
Bro.
Yeah, bro. You gotta be careful of those
litty.
sharks. Yeah, I went surfing in Cali and Florida, bro. Definitely a good time. Yes, sir.
That shit lit. But yeah, I'll probably say Hawaii to me. Hawaii is definitely a place. It's so beautiful out there. Very beautiful.
I agree, bro.
They got some baddies over there too. Beautiful women out. Come on, man. So yeah, definitely Hawaii, man, for sure. Definitely Hawaii. It's a place I want to go to, like, after COVID, man. You know what I mean? Just get out, get it. It's like, it's good to travel and like get out of the country. You know what I mean?
Would you ever do like scuba diving and stuff like that? You know.
Not scuba diving. It's like surfing. Yeah, that's like because I don't like being in the water that much. But surfing is enough for me to like. Okay, I can be in the water. But other than that.
So you see a shark, you running?
Hell no. Yeah, I'm not getting in the ocean. First of all. After that noise, yeah, dude. A shark, nah, man.
See, I would personally, I would swim with sharks. I know that sounds
crazy
stupid.
as shit.
I know.
You crazy as a mother.
But like,
you would swim with sharks, bro?
Yeah, I'd go scuba diving. My dad did.
Dave, look at me right now. You would swim with sharks?
Yeah.
Wow.
It'd be interesting. Now, would you ever want to go skydiving? Would you ever be willing to just jump out of a plane and just
Skydiving? Nah, bro. Surfing's enough for me.
Surfing's enough for you?
That's enough. Yeah.
I don't know. So for me personally, when COVID realistically, ends back up, I'm trying to do a lot more outdoor climbing. So
I like
I'm gonna
that.
be going back. That's
like
my
that.
thing. I just like to explore and stuff, and especially now that the weather's starting to be beautiful, because it's definitely beautiful.
It's getting
outside.
nicer, dude. Shit.
It really is.
It's time for them
wear
sleeveless shirts, muscle shirts.
Exactly. Go to the gym, bro.
Yeah, man.
Work out. It's definitely gonna be like exciting and stuff.
Gonna be
And
lit,
with
dude.
COVID, how feeling so trapped indoors with the weather, it's definitely nice to just be outside and stuff like that. Like me and my friends, we're definitely gonna go on some hikes and stuff like that. We're promoting our club, and that's just like it's definitely gonna be an exciting time. But we'll see what happens.
See what happens, bro. But I got a question though, because like I noticed that like, especially in this COVID like time now, like I've seen people like go to restaurants by themselves,
Yeah.
like actually by themselves, and like I would like see like some beautiful women, and like they would just like sit like literally by themselves like eating. So I'm like, damn, like it's gotten that bad where it's like, man, you going to restaurants by yourself? So it's like, what's your thoughts on that as far as like isolation and like not being able to like interact with people? You know what I mean?
So I know that I believe there may be more now, but there are at least 4 countries that have opened up fully, and you don't have to wear masks.
Ain't Texas one of them?
Texas is one of them.
Yeah.
Texas, and I believe Florida, or some of them, like Missouri or something.
Mm-hmm.
So personally, going back to like what we were saying earlier, a lot of people have already had COVID, but not everyone, So if you don't think COVID is much of a concern, a lot of people are getting the vaccines and stuff like that, and your state provides it, as long as you have to be respectful. If a company is saying, we want you to wear a mask inside, then do it. If certain companies like, you don't have to, no. Because the body does need to, there's good bacteria that your body needs. So if you want to go out in the sand, to the beaches and stuff, I think it's starting to get to the time, because you don't want to be COVID crazy forever until every person gets a vaccine, because a lot of people aren't going to want to get it. So, to just like open up, leave it more to the restaurants and stuff like that to decide. You do get those few ignorant people that are like, oh, I'm not going to do it. But, if people are willing to, want to walk around and stuff like that, if you're not wearing a mask and you're walking and a person is, I'm pretty sure it's definite by like the CDC that you're not going to get it, you know, if you're wearing it. So if you want to walk around with no mask, that's your decision and your choice. But if you're going to be a part of like, our school and they require you to wear a mask outside. I personally don't like to wear a mask outside, but I do it because that's the rules. You don't want to be that. So I say like leave it more to the, if certain states are really having a problem, they can start to close down, but just see how it, works. And, older people who tend to be more affected, like my grandparents, they always wear a mask. They have not had any problems with it.
Have they been vaccinated?
They actually did get vaccinated, so.
Yes, amen to that. Yeah.
So they got their second dosage. They had no problems, you know what I mean? So they're strong. And then, but I think it really just depends. I feel like we've gotten to the point now, I do think there was a need for masks, but I think we've gotten to the point as a nation where, people are starting to get vaccinated. It's their decision or the company's decision. You know what I mean? So, what about you?
Like I agree. Like I don't think like if it depends like how much COVID is left in your state and like how many deaths are occurring. How's the vaccination affecting those people? I do feel like now, especially like now, like COVID is deteriorating a little bit as far as the cases. So I would definitely start to open up a lot of places, man, restaurants, beaches, swimming pools, everything. Just getting some type of normalcy. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been in this shit for so long. It's been a whole year now, right? Because obviously it happened March 2020. So it's been like a whole year. So I just feel like now, like with more vaccinations coming, the cases have decreased in a lot of the states. So I'll definitely start to open up like more things, man. Because I just want to. Cause me personally, and like just I know a lot of people feel like this. We're just tired of being this, like you know what I mean. Like we want to get up, we want to go out there, socialize, be with our people. You know what I mean, hang out, go to beaches again. You know what I mean, just socialize. You know what I mean. I miss that socialization and like, And like now being as COVID, like it will definitely make you more appreciative as far as like being with your people.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. When you have kids, you'll be like, there was a time when everyone was walking around wearing masks, and like, you know, you looked at that like, I don't know, a few years ago, and you'd be like, yo, like
this is history.
Like, this is definitely going to be. It really is crazy. You know? You don't realize you're living in it, and you know, like, because like, you know, even with your parents, like our parents, you know, it hasn't happened yet, but you know, like our kids are probably going to be looking at what our parents did and other things. Like once generations die, like great grandparents and stuff, and seeing that. And it's crazy how, you know, life is definitely really short. You know, it's long, but it's short. You know, college is flying by. It's a great time, but you know, it's definitely
we were just freshmen. So now we're sophomores, man. And before we know, we're gonna be freaking seniors, graduating, looking for a job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I had a question for you though. Like, obviously with COVID too, it's taking effect on like some people's love life, right? Like for me, I'm talking to a girl right now. Yeah, off campus. She goes to a different college. So I'm talking to this girl, but you know, it's been like hard for in general to talk to girls because like everybody has a mask on. So like people don't really notice you because you have a mask on. Everybody's so, you know, paranoid about the virus and like busy with their lives. So it's like, you know, especially on campus, like, you know, it's in general, like it's definitely hard to like get things going. Like if you see a shawty, you think she's cute, you want to talk to her. But it's like,
gotta keep that distance.
You know what I'm saying? Like you really don't want to take that chance because like we got a mask on. So I'm like, okay. So like, what's your how you been like as far as?
I don't know. Me personally, I've just been like working on me and stuff like that. So you know, definitely during this COVID time, you know, I feel like a lot of people have had time because they've had to isolate themselves to just, you know, to just think. Because you know, college is definitely a fun time. You know, a lot of amazing, beautiful women. You know, we're all young and stuff, but you know, in the end, some people will reach their maturity aspects and, you know, want to find someone, or people will just live that party life. So, you know, obviously I never, like, keep my options, like, you know, closed, you know. If something happens, something happens. But more for me, I've just been working on myself because trying to focus on, like, being successful in the future, looking at ideals, because since you're being trapped in all this, it's definitely time to take it, you know, and to think about these things. But, you know, never obviously like, you know, saying no to an opportunity, of course. You know, just really thinking about how can I make my future better, and if the right one comes, you know, then I'll be at a much better place in my life where I could be helpful. If not, you know, see where, you know, everything takes me. But you know, it's definitely like, you know, holding some people back and stuff like that. Like I know a lot of people are like desperate and stuff like that.
Bro, they be mad though. I'm like, you know, like chill, bro. Like, just focus on yourself, man.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's because they've just been trapped inside, you know. Just, you know, searching the internet, seeing what they can find
be going
on the real world.
They be going on the website you could think of.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. There was a lot of girls that were like, "Oh my God, I've been so trapped during COVID. Can't wait till college. Like, let's hang out." I wasn't really like feeling that, but you know, it's just like a lot of people are like that. You know what I mean? So
facts, man.
It's interesting and stuff like that. But you know,
it's definitely. Now, like, do you play sports here?
No, not. I decided because they don't have the sports that I want to play, like track.
What did you want to play?
And, you know,
track wrestling.
You know, those are sports.
Same. I did track and wrestling.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Also did some diving. They have lacrosse here, but like I didn't even commit myself to the level. I had the option to do it my senior year, because they really needed me for face-offs and like other things. But I decided I want to be captain of the track team.
Nice.
So I did track my senior year instead.
And then what do you do in track? What are you doing track specifically?
So my main event is the 800.
Nice. Okay.
I also did the 400. And sometimes I did the mile, but the mile was brutal. Oh my
brutal,
God.
Man.
What was your event? Were you a sprinter?
No, I wasn't I was actually bigger, dude.
Okay.
Bro, I was. Hold on, I'll show you too.
Yeah.
Bro, I was mad big, bro. I was 285, bro.
You were what?
285, like
285. Oh, I remember. Yeah, you lost a lot of weight, bro.
No cap.
So, like, what was the thought process for you, like, deciding that you wanted to start grinding, start like getting into the shape that you wanted to be? Because there's definitely been major improvement.
Facts, man. Especially like even on campus, like before, like when I got on campus as a freshman, You know, and obviously I lost weight by then, but I was still like kind of like chunky.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a long road, dude. Long road wasn't easy. I mean, like me being 285, like close to 300 pounds.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't easy, man. It was a long process. But yeah, I just decided just like one day, I think it was my senior in high school. It's probably like, it was actually right after track. So
Yeah.
after I did, in track I did shot put.
Okay.
I did shot put. I actually broke my high school record for it too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
That's
you know what I'm
what I like to
saying?
hear.
But yeah, just like one day, like I think it was like during graduation, I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, damn, like I gotta get myself in shape. Like this is not good. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not good. You know, and like even though I was 285, like I wasn't like, you couldn't tell that I was 285.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You know what I
kept it
mean?
well,
I kept it well. Like you couldn't tell I was 285, but I was, and I knew like eventually I had to make certain changes in my life to, you know, change that lifestyle, change the weight. Like I said, it was a very long process. It was hard some days. I felt like giving up on some days too, just cause. Listen, losing weight is not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy to
I
do.
believe it. I've been trying to gain weight, but
Yeah, man. Like losing weight, especially a guy like me. Like for me, I'm naturally a big guy. Like I've never been skinny, so for me, it's, you know, it's definitely tougher to lose weight and stuff like that. But you know, eventually, I just decided just to say fuck it, just work. You know what I mean? Just work and just do what I can. I did running almost every single day, crunches.
I remember seeing you all sweaty in the gym.
Yeah,
bro.
man. Like even like now, like I get my 3 miles in on the treadmill, two to 3 miles.
Yeah.
I just ran today actually on the treadmill.
Oh boy.
But yeah, man, it was just a lot of work, a lot of sacrifices. But you know, like I said, like I made like an earlier video too about my weight loss, and I was just telling people that like, listen, I know there's plenty of people right now, especially in COVID, like out of shape, overweight, and I would just tell those people, man, just to, you know, work, just finally decide what you want to do with your life and just get going, work hard. You know what I mean? Work. You know what I mean? Get that weight off. You know what I mean? And it actually, it brings me to this topic too. I was watching on TV one day, and I was seeing like these supermodels. They're like thick models, like thick women, and there's like a subject around as far as like appreciating like a woman's body, right?
Yeah.
Appreciating like all women's bodies, and you know, whether skinny, thick, doesn't matter. And for me, my thoughts on it is like, I appreciate every woman's body. You know what I mean? I think everybody is beautiful in their own way, and I don't really like some guys like get into women's sizes and like have to date this certain size. Like with me, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like as long as you're beautiful and you're a good person and I can talk to you, I can have an actual conversation with you, that's all that matters to me.
Okay.
But my thing is when it comes to like these super like thick models, like that's on commercials, that's on ads. My thing is, I appreciate that as long as you're like being healthy too, like you're taking care of yourself, you're exercising, you're doing the things. Because listen, everybody's bodies are different, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's bodies are different, and some girls they don't have the bodies to, you know, be super skinny, and that's fine. You don't have to be, but as long as you take care of yourself, work out, you know, and do the things that you want to do to you know, make yourself healthy.
Yeah.
But the only thing I disagree with is when you're not healthy. Is when you're just eating junk food like all day. You're not working out. You're not taking care of yourself, and then you're trying to promote yourself like, oh, I'm a beautiful, thick size model. That's the thing I disagree with on. You know what I mean? Because everybody's bodies are different, but as long as you're being healthy and taking care of yourself, because you want that. You want to inspire, especially when you have children. You want to inspire children to like learn after you. You know what I mean? Take care of yourself, not slack off, eat junk food, and be, you know, overweight. That's not okay.
I can understand that.
You know what I
I mean,
so what's your thoughts on that?
you know, obviously health definitely is important. You know what I mean? For me personally, I do think it's like I would love for everyone to try and, you know, focus on exercising, but you know, talking to some of my friends that are overweight, some of them just really do feel hopeless, you know, and when they look at it, you know, you can make improvement. You know, I've seen it. Like this one girl, that I know, Ashley, she was like 350 pounds, and now she's like 120, and it's like
That's amazing.
But you know, everyone's different, and everyone has the motivation. So you know, I think it's just finding out what you truly love and finding out purpose first, and with that, you will start to be motivated for more. You know what I mean? So I think it just really depends on like the timing and stuff like that. You know,
Facts.
for what you want. But to like close on this, what are your goals for this podcast? This is a podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are your goals with this? How would you want to see this grow? Do you just want to have people just listen and see if they can relate and like go on from there? Like, how are you like promoting it? Like,
yeah, it's cool. No, for me, like doing this podcast, like obviously, I always want to do a podcast. So I always wanted to do it. It's been a passion of mine. It's been a dream. It's been a dream of mine to actually do it. But my whole thing was starting this like platform was to like just obviously I wanted to do it because it's a passion of mine, but also like with the topics I've talked about, especially today and my other videos that I made to people. I want them to feel inspired and to like feel inspired by my content I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Especially with now in 2021, a lot of things have happened. A lot of things that happened over the summer. And me being 20 years old, like a young man, 20 years old, like I got like so much years ahead of me, and I want to make sure that while my time on this earth, I want to make sure that like I do my duty and like just inspire and like be productive. You know what I mean? Just be productive and inspire, and especially if anybody's watching, I want them to feel inspired by the topics I talk about and to take it all in, and hopefully it changes their lives in some type of way. Even kids. You know what I mean? I have a huge passion for kids too. I actually work with kids over the summer during summer camps. I have a huge passion for them, and just always so basically, like, just to sum it up at all, it's just all about inspiration and just giving people topics that they can relate to.
Okay, so there's so many like deep. I love that. Yeah, there's so many like deep thought podcasts out there. There's so many people trying to do it and stuff like that, and I definitely see like a difference. You know what I mean? You want to truly use yours for good, to help others, to give perspectives and stuff like that. You're someone who's you're from Philly, right?
I'm from Philly.
You're from Philly. That's definitely
Philly.
A perspective that not a lot of the world has heard. People in this area of course have, but there's definitely a lot to it. So there's definitely something there, and you definitely have good goals and stuff like that. Is there anything that you would want to like say to like someone to promote it, like this is why my podcast stands out more than other ones?
I would say this. The main reason why I want to do this podcast and why I think my podcast stands out differently is because I actually care. Like in terms of the topics I'm talking about, and in terms of like really connecting to people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I feel like with a lot of podcasts, they just care about the views and like how many people are watching it. But for me, like I care about this stuff. Don't get me wrong. Like, I care about this stuff.
Yeah.
But I care more about people being connected to what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And making some type of positive changes in their lives. You know what I mean? Like that's my whole thing as far as like everything I talk about, my videos that I made. I want them to. I want my messages and my videos to really take in and like gravitate towards the audience. You know what I mean? Because I do care about I care about the views and the likes and the popularity of my podcast, but I know I'm just getting started. You know what I mean? I'm only getting started, and it's more important for me, for my content, to connect to people.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I 100% understand that, bro.
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate, being on here and,
Yes, sir.
working with this. And, there's definitely so many. The thing that is nice is, just like even how you started, you're like, it can go wherever. And that's the beautiful thing about podcasts. It's the opportunity and, of where it can go in the discussions, and have people listen and be like, these are some of my deep thoughts too. And to be able to think about it on a high level and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see where it goes for you. I'd always love to have deep conversations and try and figure it out. But, it's definitely just an exciting thing. So, I appreciate it, brother.
I appreciate you, man. It's my man David right here, sophomore, man. He's a close friend of mine, one of my best friends on campus.
Yes,
That's your boy CJ May. Thank you guys. Have a good day. God bless you.